Hi everyone, today I want to share with you about feeling the pain from a recent blog post that I wrote. Feeling the pain. I believe that the first and most important step to achieving happiness is to allow ourselves to fully feel painful emotions. I know I talk a lot about different tips, tricks, tools and techniques for achieving happiness. However, I firmly believe that unless we allow ourselves to feel any painful emotions first, those tips and techniques and tricks are just papering over the cracks. As I've mentioned before, I have had depression for nearly 30 years. I keep thinking that I finally cracked it and then it rears its ugly head again. I had a relapse a few weeks ago, and this recent relapse has made me even more passionate about sharing my experience, and I feel really strongly about letting people know that it's okay not to be okay. So today I'm going to share with you 3 steps to allow ourselves to feel the pain. The first one is feel the pain. The second one is don't beat yourself up, and the third one is look for the lesson. So number 1, feel the pain. As I've already mentioned, I firmly believe that feeling the pain is the best way to deal with painful emotions. I feel it's really important to feel the pain but not to dwell on it and not to think about it too much. Don't get caught up in that negative spiral of depressive thinking. Instead, allow ourselves to fully feel the pain, but don't get out a tent and a sleeping bag and set up camp there. Feel it and let it go. As I've already mentioned, I feel this is a really important part of the healing process. And it's often fighting the pain that causes the most problems. As I learnt when I did my NLP training, neuro-linguistic programming practitioner training, what we resist persists. So a technique that I find really helpful is to fully allow myself to feel the pain in my whole body. I often find that when I'm feeling low or depressed, it manifests as a physical pain. And so I shut my eyes and I feel it in my whole body, and I will feel where it feels the strongest, which is for me usually in my chest. And so I really allow myself to focus on that pain. And I often find that the more I focus on it, the more elusive the pain becomes. It's like trying to grab a cloud and pin it down, as they say in The Sound of Music. Now I have to add a caveat here that this technique doesn't always work, and I will cover that in a later video. So step number 2 is don't beat yourself up. Now I really need to take my own advice here, because I do have a habit of beating myself up. I feel I'm obviously not happy enough or not spiritual enough. If I was, then I wouldn't be feeling these feelings and I wouldn't have these relapses of depression. And especially with me doing Happiness Club, writing a blog about happiness and doing my radio show, The Happiness Show, I just feel like such a hypocrite, and I do have a habit of beating myself up. Now I recently saw a really good video from Abraham Hicks, and they actually helped me to look at this from a new perspective. And they actually say that the higher our vibration or the better we're feeling, the harder it is when we lose that momentum. And they use the metaphor of a car crashing into a tree or a wall. If a car crashes into a tree at 70 miles per hour, it feels completely different than if it crashes at 5 miles per hour. So step number 3, look for the lesson. There is always a lesson. There's always a silver lining, a blessing in disguise. Or as one of my sponsors used to say when I did 12-step programs, a crap-wrapped miracle. So often there's a lesson that we can learn to help ourselves and also to help others. So in my recent relapse of depression, and also as a result of the coronavirus, one of the biggest lessons I've learned is to stop striving and start enjoying my life as it is. I feel like I'm always constantly striving. I work full time and then I come home and I've got to work on Happiness Club, and then at the weekend I've got to work on Happiness Club. And although I was allowing myself to have downtime, I was just constantly striving and pushing forward and hustling. And now it's occurred to me that I've got a really good life, and that actually what's the most important is to enjoy the fantastic life that I've got. I've got an amazing relationship with my partner, Mr. Sexy Pants. We live in a beautiful house with a gorgeous garden. I've got 2 lovely cuddly cats. We live in the amazing county of Suffolk. We are surrounded by beautiful countryside, amazing beaches. We regularly go on holiday. I've got a great job. I've got great friends. I really am blessed. And so I've really learnt to slow down and enjoy my life and enjoy all the fantastic things that I have. The other thing is it's made me even more passionate about sharing my experiences and what I've learnt with others. I'm just going to slow that down a little bit. And as I've already mentioned, I feel really strongly about letting people know that it is okay not to be okay. So, in summary, the most important step, or I believe, in my humble opinion, I believe the most important step to achieving happiness, or the first step, is to fully allow ourselves to feel any painful emotions. It is okay not to be okay, and I want everyone to know that. I've shared 3 steps today about how we can allow ourselves to fully feel the pain. Number 1, feel the pain. Number 2, don't beat yourself up. And number 3, look for the lesson. I hope you found that helpful. If you did, then please give me a like. Please also share this with other people that you feel might enjoy it. Please subscribe to me, my pages and my social media accounts on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, etc. I've recently published a guide to 4 secrets to happiness during lockdown. So hopefully you'll find that helpful, and if you do, then you can get a copy for free and also be notified every time I publish a new blog post. So I'll post a link to that in the comments. Thank you all for your support and for watching. Love you guys, and also let us know what your techniques are for feeling the pain and what your tips for happiness are. Thank you guys. Love you. Bye. Mwah.